What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to the Apothecary Diaries, this time with Season 2, Episode 21. I don't think it's next week, I think it's the week after. We've got that break, isn't it? But yeah, great episode last week, seeing more of the place Maomao's in. The name of it is just a myth, so apologies, but getting that more fleshed out, which was cool. The end of the episode was especially the standout, of course, with Lacan finally getting Jinshi to act. I think people have been a little bit pissed off with Jinshi. It's like, why are you not doing anything? Why are you just sitting on your ass and blah blah blah? I keep seeing people say, but it's literally the case that he's got to unfortunately reveal his identity now. It seems we're gonna have to pull out all the stops as the as what I think is the Emperor's son, the Moon Prince, which a Japanese person did rightly say doesn't sound quite as cool as Suki no something. Whatever it was in Japanese sounded a bit cooler. I want to say Suki no Hime, but I think that's like a moon princess rather than prince. Something similar to that though. But yeah, as I said, it's more the fact that he's deliberating so hard because he's had this act up this whole time. He's had for 2 seasons now, and he's going to have to unfortunately just reveal to everyone who he actually is. And finally to Maomao, I think, is also another thing. Is he struggled so much earlier this season trying to tell her, and he finally prepared himself too. Unfortunately, she was a bit overwhelmed by the ox spore stuff. But yeah, it's like a big thing for him. It's not just the case that he's just sitting on his ass doing nothing. Obviously, he wants to do something, but it's a big time in his his life right now. I'm looking forward to seeing what we got here. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. Seems people were also getting a little bit pissed off that Maomao wasn't trying to leave her circumstance here. I mean, it's pretty obvious that the literal lab rats. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that the repercussions for doing something like that would just be death. So, and she's doing her job here, so it's nice to see Lolan actually make a facial expression when she is Lolan. But yeah, just like, does it not just make sense that she would just fulfill her role here and do what, like, she's not got it bad. It's the thing, she gets to do her job, she gets to experiment. Yes, she is a captive, but it's not actually that bad, and it's really not worth risking your life over. I don't know. I just saw a lot of complaints about this so far that haven't quite made sense to me. Honestly, a realistic worry during the time of creation of stuff like this. A very realistic worry. That as well. I believe they're like 7 days from the Imperial Palace, I think it's called. And yeah, it of course was him. Lovely, lovely thought from the boy. I really like this little guy so far. He's quite adorable, isn't he? Trying to help her escape. A very nice kid. Damn, look at her face after those slaps. Jesus, they were heavy. Getting bruised from a slap is, yeah, Jesus. Yeah, that's quite lucky. Oh, although this is not quite lucky. I think we see this scene in the preview, unfortunately. Oh, we saw a horrible scene of her yesterday. Last week. It was a smog of yeah. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You know what I used to be quite afraid of? Quite a little bit unrelated. I guess it's slightly related. Sorry to pause and go on a bit of a tangent already, but it was a thing called, I think it's in the UK, it's called like the Demon Headmaster or something like that. I never really, I think it was like a TV show. It only, I think it stopped airing about the time I was getting into watching like child's TV shows and such. But I was always quite horrified of the thought of. I remember there was specific. I've only watched like 2 or 3 episodes. I remember specifically like um this he would like spank the kids with a wooden meter ruler, and I don't know why that always really stuck with me as a kid as being like really brutal, and I was always quite scared of that happening. Never did, but whenever I'd see like those wooden kind of meter rulers, I would always have little flashbacks to like that episode. She honestly kind of gives off similar vibes. But yeah, I kind of wish that was probably one of the kind of starts of my love of kind of horror as well. Yeah, I kind of wish I got to see more of that as a kid, which is weird to think about considering, like I said, it did affect me. But yeah, she honestly, she really gives me those vibes. Jesus, it's amazing seeing how affected Suirei gets at her presence, isn't it? Like a bumbling child, whereas usually she's a very mature woman. That does not sound good. A water prison. Will you though? Did she say that out loud? I imagine she's just trying to take the blunt of the punishment here. Oh my god, she said that out loud. Oh my god. So water prison, I'm kind of thinking it's some kind of torture, like getting waterboarded, or there's that torture I saw recently, and I think it was this woman fucking horrible, isn't she? I can't wait to this. I can't wait till she gets her comeuppance. Um, yeah. Oh my god. Ugh. Honestly, considering the state what we saw her fucking dungeon in last episode, she might have like AIDS or something. So I hope not. Jesus Christ. This woman really does get worse. But yeah, it was Cast of the Elite where they just had like water just like dripping on someone, and that was torture in itself. Dripping water on someone. It doesn't sound that bad, but when it happens for a prolonged period of time, it can drive you crazy, I think. I don't recognise that now. Jeez. Quite the reaction to that. Taiwan. This is the water. Doesn't seem too bad. Ah. Honestly, it's not too bad. I know these are probably venomous, poisonous snakes and probably poisonous spiders. Big old spiders, by the way. Poisonous centipedes. I imagine everything here is poisonous. Frogs. I think I've said before during the series, people, I think still to this day, lick frogs, some like tribes and stuff, to get like high and to experience something. There was that thing recently about a guy like injecting a butterfly into him and it killing him. And they're not even awfully poisonous comparatively. Honestly, the water thing sounded worse to me than this. I mean, this is probably more of that was a punishment. This seems like a death sentence, but this is a death sentence that is not like assured, if you know what I'm saying. So she's locked in this room with all of these creatures. I assume she's going to be able to handle it, not because she's the main character, but because Shisui is awfully good with insects, and maybe some of that kind of rubbed off on Maomao a little bit. Maomao's obviously also pretty knowledgeable about poisons and such. I do assume, being an apothecary, so I feel like for Maomao, this is actually like just not that bad a death sentence. It's much less of a death sentence to her than it would be a normal person. Imagine if you're a normal person during this age period, you probably would freak out and maybe start trying to attack them, and then once you rifle up, that's the thing with animals. I especially recognize this because I had a German Shepherd. If you're nervous or you're anything like, or you're acting a bit crazy, the animal will also kind of pick up on that and then go into like self-defense mode and be much more likely to attack. So yeah, just got to be quite calm in this situation. Interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how she does maneuver this. I think the frogs and spiders should be easy enough to kind of avoid it. I think it's the snakes that probably going to be the hardest thing to avoid here, because they can be aggressive. Oh, that's why she was cringing so bad. Okay, makes sense. Yes. Why does she remind me of the woman from Audition with the kitty kitty kitty? Right there. Oh, let's take some snakes apart. You cooking them? Oh my god, she made a meal out of them. That, and I didn't even mention the fact that Maomao's probably got a bit of a tolerance to poisons as well. So, Jesus, look at this. This is insane. Jesus. Resourceful girl. Those torches came in handy. Oh damn. That was a lot quicker than I suspected she'd handle that. Oh, this kid is so cute. So I hope that when we do invade this place, this kid's. I'm not gonna. I don't even know if I want to say it, just in case it happens. But I hope nothing bad happens to this kid. Fortunately, there are just casualties of war like that, isn't there? Things like this happen. It does kind of feel like fireworks night or something, doesn't it? Like Guy Fawkes night, where maybe the plan to take down this place would be to just explode all their gunpowder they got down here. That's how you fuck them over. Like, you imagine this place can just go boom. I can't believe it. We just roasted up snakes like that. Imagine being one of these people in this time period and walking in on that. I mean, I'd walk in on that today and it'd be nuts, but even more so this age. Oh, okay, so this happening now. Jeez, it's happened quickly. Is that the best thing to do? I feel like they. Oh shit. Blown up herself. Yeah, I feel like maybe we shouldn't have chucked all the money on the floor because, as we saw there, maybe they're quite desperate and they're actually just leaving them here longer. That's the incentive to get out, but oh, that was close. It looks like Lowland's staged a bit of a mutiny herself here. I think again, it's quite clear that her dreams, as we saw in that episode with that thing that went on fire, I forget what it's called, but her dreams sank to like the bottom and pushed up the dreams of these people that created these guns and yeah, and so on. I'm not really sure exactly what the word punitive means, but it sounds like the word puny, so it doesn't sound awfully intimidating. I'm able to tell you apart from the fakes. Jesus Christ, this woman. So violent. Hmm. Yeah, 2 generations. See, I wish, again, I've been explained so many times, and I even got my head around the whole kind of families at some point, but this like added like now this as well. It's just like it is hard to keep up with. So I think that I'm not sure if that's the previous emperor or no. I think that's the guy we saw those episodes ago with the Jinxie assassination, isn't it? What occurred across 2 generations? Yeah, I imagine some people, and you probably maybe many people could like figure out what that means right off the bat. But like I said, my memory's not too great with the whole family trees and stuff, especially this new kind of family stuff with Sui Ren and so on. This old hag. Oh shit. Oh. Like I said, it's kind of a bit of a struggle to get my head around this. Bore the previous emperor's first child, was then separated from her. So we know all these women were being kept at the imperial palace or whatever, and we did hear about her dying, didn't we? And we did obviously, as we just saw there, we saw her at her grave. I don't think I put together that was yeah. Is that just been revealed now, or is that because I again my memory's not the best for stuff like this, but I don't think I knew that this was her daughter. Sui was this the first woman's daughter. I don't think I knew that. Again, maybe again that could have been a third, but yeah, hard to keep up with. That was her grandma. Oh shit. Sorry to pause again. um, she was the daughter of Taiho. I need faces referenced. I think a major part of it is because of the names. I mean, it's hard again. It's hard enough remembering Japanese names. The Chinese names, like it's a new struggle, and then it's like putting the faces with the names. I think it's the hardest part. Just need a face here. Oh, it's the ghost lady. Yeah, she's the woman that passed away, isn't she? Yeah, we saw her as a ghost. So that was Suirei's mum. You know what? They're quite similar as types of people, aren't they? Actually. Okay. So that was her, and she said here the physician that was exiled from the palace. Does that mean that they're referring to who I think they're referring to? I'll Google that quickly as well, because I'm pretty sure that they're not just referring to Mao's granddad slash dad, the old man. I forget his name as well. Hopefully I've got no spoilers here or anything. Physician's always a hard one for me to spell. Physician. Oh, almost first time. Oh, I did get it first time. Nice. Physician exiled. We'll type in. I always struggle with that though. Yeah, they are referring to Lowman there, right? I can't think of anyone else that comes to mind. So, wow, it's even more now like related and complex. Like, holy fuck. Okay. Again, apologies, just trying to get my head around everything here. So Lowman and the Ghost Lady had the kid that was Suirei right here. And I assumed all of Suirei's actions were in kind of an act of revenge of sorts against the previous emperor, which I think they are. But as I said earlier, this episode, it kind of really reminds me of that very impactful festival thing that went on the last few episodes. Again with the dreams that got kind of burnt and the ones that fell to the water that propped up the other dreams. I feel like the dreams of her, like Suirei and Lolan, all kind of fell, and they're actually being used as a part of a much worse kind of scheme going on here that maybe doesn't actually align truly with their goals or anything. It's been swept up in it, as we can probably see from Chisui's actions, Lolan's actions right here. Oh well, there's that line. You did indeed like ghost stories even in the afterlife. Or maybe that was Suirei during that. Right, she is colorblind. Oh, I always just call her both. So I think she is Shisui, isn't she? Ah, that change of expression there. That said it all. I'm hoping that we've just used that revival drug on them. I knew I shouldn't have said anything earlier. I mean, it wouldn't change anything, but wow. And what? Again, I'm hoping she used the revival. So I'm not. I'm starting to very much doubt that. Holy crap! So she spared them a even worse death. Knew he was going to. Oh my god! I've got chills right now, and they're not the good kind. Holy crap! Oh boy! Again, I really ended up liking this kid a lot, and maybe that was one of the signals I got of something bad happening. I guess it makes sense. Like I said, sparing him from an even worse fate. And I'm hoping, with the 1% of hope I have, that she used the revival drug that Suirei manufactured. However, I feel like it would be pointless to use that. But I hope she did. But the more I think about it, the less likely it is. Okay, wow. That was an absolutely horrible end to that episode, wasn't it? Holy shit. Well, again, at least it was painless, but just like just seeing a little boy accept his fate like that is just very disturbing, isn't it? Here's the attack. So we're going to see some brutality. The Forbidden Army. Well, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, bit of a soul killing, soul draining end to that episode right there. Just gave me chills, but like just like not the good kind, not the kind where you're like hyped or something. It's just like, yeah, it's really disturbing. And again, I'm a big horror fan, but not disturbing in a kind of positive way. Not in a way that I'd enjoy. More in a, again, purely disturbed way. Yeah. Yeah. Really good episode though. Again, maybe the signs were there, as I said. I kind of had a feeling there might be some unfortunate kind of losses here. I was assuming it would be in the battle and something like that, but no, just before. Maybe this was better this way. But yeah, brutal episode in general. This woman was, again, just an absolute menace all the way throughout. There was a couple revelations with the lineages and such, which again I think would have impacted me more if I was really well versed in that. As you saw, I had like Google some stuff, and I just it's hard to keep track of, especially when more and more gets introduced and it gets more confused and there's more kind of masks, and there's just like you've got to remember what's known and what's been said, and then you've got to remember the truth, and then you've got to remember the fake truth that people are putting out there of their lineage, and it's like, yeah, it just makes it quite complex. This was a fucking hilarious scene with Maomao surviving that form of punishment slash death sentence right there. That was incredible. But yeah, just awfully horrific end to this episode. I don't really know what else to say. They've done a fantastic job all the way throughout, but especially with just like the subtle change in where is it? The subtle change in Shisui's kind of facial expression during the scene, I thought was fantastic. Maomao decided to call her that, who she actually is. Who we see the actions she's taken here are those of Shisui. Like the surprise, and then so the face we remember rather than the painted on lowland face of a doll. Wow. Yeah, just incredible, painfully stuff here. So Shisui having to deal with her kind of abortions that she's been having to deal with, and not to go against the emperor, killing these kids to spare them a fate. Like, Jisui's had a hell of a time having a part in this whole ordeal against the Imperial Kingdom, whatever, and being the kind of main pawn to use against them and to spy on them. It's yeah, she's had a hell of a rough time, hasn't she? It really is just now just a brutal end to this episode in general. So because they're all close with hers, they would probably got interrogated and tortured and such, even as kids, and maybe sentenced to an even worse death than one as nice as just drinking something and falling asleep to your death. Definitely new. The way he's looking at that is crazy. Question, to be honest. Why did she bring her here? I mean, I'm not sure. I hope this is, I don't know. Maybe just like off the top of my head, it's so that Maomao can do something to end Shisui's life as well. Like, why are they coming here in the midst of all this? They've just blown up. I mean, I say that, you assume she could just as easily drink that herself. Maybe it's to oversee any kind of complications if something does go wrong and she ends up like surviving that amount. I don't know. It can't be anything good though. This room really yeah, horrific. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, very good episode today. I feel like the tone of the episode, especially as it like went throughout, like it was quite serious and stern at the start, and then it got quite fun with Maomao and her prison kind of antics surviving that, and then it got real dark real quick at the end there. Just incredible episode. Let me know what you guys thought about this one though down in the comments. I'll stop yapping now. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date, and I'll see you next week with episode 22, I believe.